What's going on YouTube? Mr. Knife Guy here, and today I got a really cool video for you, and this is a knife that you're probably not too familiar with, but you should be, and that is the Buck Knives Sprint Ops Pro. This is a flipper on bearings, and it's pretty much designated the 842. It's a reverse Tonto blade, and it's got these really cool blue G10 scales on it. It's got a blue anodized aluminum backspacer. It's got some, I don't know what the material is on this pocket clip with the little Buck logo. And the blade profile is the really cool thing about this knife. Because look at that blade. Have you seen one like that? Pretty cool. They call it a reverse Tonto. It's not really, but wow. This is a really cool knife, and this is an incredibly smooth knife. Just ridiculously smooth on the bearings. Drop shut action, just so butter smooth. So smooth flicking out. These have just such a great action, and Buck is kind of like almost a sleeper company, because they were more the older style knives, and they weren't really doing these kind of modern integral lock how we see here. They always had that back lock that we know with the little thumbnail opening. So these are pretty cool just to see Buck do a flipper on bearings. And the steel on this is what they call the Boss heat treat. So it's S30V, and I guess they have their Boss heat treat that they do, which you kind of see on the box. Edge of a legend, and isn't Buck a legend? This small little backstory: one of the first knives I ever owned in 2nd or 4th grade was a Buck knife, as my school did a field trip to the Buck Knives factory, and at the end of the field trip, my mom was kind enough to buy me a tiny titanium folder known as the tiny titanium, but the rainbow one. That was my first Buck knife in 1994. So ever since then, I've had an infatuation with knives, and I really like Buck knives a lot. I don't see them too much in the collector's market or kind of the enthusiast knife range that you're in if you visit my channel and you're familiar with my other knives, but this is one that I don't think you should overlook, and I think any collector would really enjoy having and using as a daily carry knife, as these are rather inexpensive. You can get this knife for around $150, and it's just great. I think it's about a 3-inch blade. It's not a huge blade. It's not large by any means. But is it just a really fun knife? It's got really great ergonomics too, and they are so sharp. I've cut myself so deep with one of these on accident. Whew, Buck really sharpens their blades to just a ridiculous edge. They're using, you see how long this blade edge is. It feels a little bit like it's almost a hollow grind to me. It is. It's not a flat grind. So it's got an interesting profile with a really thick spine. There's a lot of meat, a lot of character to this blade, but it's just a fun knife. It's a really great knife to carry, and I quite enjoy it. And it does pair well with the Tudor blue Pelagos. So really nice if you want to coordinate with your Pelagos. But just a really fun knife. Keep Buck on your radar, because they do really cool stuff. I love the G10 scales. They have this deep groove in them. They're really contoured great. This knife just has a great fit in your hand. That aluminum anodized backspacer just really makes it all off with this great lock insert that's coming up to about it's just about centered evenly with the edge of the knife steel. So cool little flipper design, very nice, very well done, and one of the best actions for man, just the drop shut that they have on this knife. It's not expected. It's not what I expected when I ordered this from Buck. It's so much better than I thought it was gonna be. Really, really tough scales. I just love this blue and black G10 though that they're doing here. I think it's G10 anyways. Doesn't say what it is, but I think I read it was G10. Forever warranty on Buck knives, so you're never gonna have to worry about that. And a great American knife company. So that is the Buck Sprint. This is the Sprint Ops Pro in the reverse Tonto. The 842 is the model number if you want to look it up. They got a bunch of different ones, which are all super cool. So thanks for checking out this one. I really hope you enjoyed seeing this knife, and I could give you a little bit of insight into what it's all about. So, like always, guys, enjoy your knives.